Start it.
Don't overthink it. Podcast.
Yo. I got it!
You wanna take it away from me. You cannot wait till I'm stopped.
Hey, what's up, peeps? You're listening to Don't Overthink It podcast. I'm Brian,
I'm Daniel.
and today's topic, we're going to talk about depression.
Because depression sucks.
Yeah, and then we're going to see wherever it branches off to. So we'll just kind of start off with that, and then wherever the conversation goes to, wherever it flows, we'll just go from there.
Yeah. So, depression. I'm pretty sure everyone goes through like some sort of depression in their life, whether it's a heartbreak, losing a loved one, or losing a game of Super Mario.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's a motherfucker.
And I know I've been there, and it definitely sucks. And it can last basically as long as you want it to last.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing about depressions. It really is like a disease. The thing is, like, when you're going through that, you feel like there's just no cure for it, and everything just sucks.
Yeah.
Like, everything just starts to suck. Like, you don't find joy in anything. All the things that used to be funny aren't funny anymore.
Yeah.
All the things that, your favorite hobbies, you just kind of start to get bored with them. You don't really care anymore.
Can't even eat anymore.
Yeah, you don't get hungry. You stop hitting up your friends. Just everything just starts kind of just die.
You just want to like lay in your bed, and you find yourself listening to sad music, which makes it even worse.
Oh, yeah. Because, see, that's the thing about depression is a lot of people, when they're depressed, they tend to, like, lock themselves in the room.
Yeah.
Lock themselves in the room and shy away from everybody and just kind of isolate themselves, which is the complete opposite of what you're supposed to do or you should be doing, because that's only going to make things worse.
And also, when you're like depressed, you feel like no one can really relate to you. You feel like no matter how many people tell you, like, I understand, I've been there before, you're just like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, because that's the thing, man. When you're depressed, you feel like you're the only person in the world that's feeling that.
Yeah.
You think that nobody else is going through the same thing. You think you're the only one.
Yeah, it's sort of like you put a mental blockade on your way of thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the thing is, like, some people are pretty good at hiding it. So people, some people could hide. They could be depressed as hell, and you would have no clue.
Yeah, they could seem like the friendliest person, like they got everything going for them, but in reality, they're probably...
Yeah, I mean, the same person that's always smiling and laughing and saying hello to everybody, it could be the same person that's, like, crying themselves to sleep every night.
Yeah, I see that a lot. Like when people post on Twitter, like they'll like retweet those like depressed accounts and saying how the most happiest people are usually the most depressed. Mm-hmm. And it's usually from people that are depressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people use it as a good mask to kind of hide their emotions.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, nobody wants to be around depressed people.
No.
Like, depressed people are just, man, they're a drag.
Yeah, you've always been around someone who's just complaining all the time, and you don't really want to hear it.
Yeah, that's the thing. And
it sounds mean and terrible, but that's the truth.
No, but yeah, that's the truth, because it's like, because the depressed person's always kind of sucks the energy out of the room.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not... Because there's a difference between, like, if your buddy's bummed out, it's like he's bummed out. It's like, oh, he's bummed out. We could cheer him up.
Yeah.
And then there's a difference between that and then being depressed. When it's depressed, that's, like, just totally different. Like, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You could be in a room and somebody's depressed and you start to feel all weird.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just, it's a weird feeling they give off, weird vibe.
Yeah, so how do I get over my depression, Brian? How do I do this? I lost a game of Super Mario. Now I'm depressed. I've been depressed for 2 years. How do I get over this shit?
Drugs. No, I'm kidding. Don't do drugs, kids. I think the best way to get over depression, the thing is, first off, is stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That sounds harsh, but...
Yeah. It does sound harsh, like somebody telling you to stop feeling sorry for yourself, but that's true. It's you have to stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Because usually, like, when you're depressed, you know what's wrong. You know what's the problem. You know why you got depressed in the first place. But you're just lying to yourself.
Because you got to stop playing the victim.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to stop playing the victim, because it's your choice. It's your life. It's your movie. You choose who you want to be.
Yeah.
It's like that quote that Joe Rogan said. It was
You got to be the hero of your own story. You got to wake up one day and live life like a documentary crew's following you around.
yeah, because the way it is it's your life. It's your life. It's your choice. I mean, you're the one in the movie. You know, you're the director and the actor. I mean, you decide if you're going to be Superman or if you're going to be the victim.
Yeah.
You know, but most people decide to play the victim, you know, so it's like, poor me, poor me. Who's going to come and save me? Who's going to come and save me?
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, like, nobody's going to come and save you. You can't expect for your friends to come and pick you up. You can't expect for some girl or guy to fall in your life and then they totally fix you and then everything's, you know, rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. You have to do it yourself. It's like the analogy that we talked about once, which was, it's like you're stuck in a jail cell.
Yeah.
And you're like waiting for Superman to come and save you, but when in reality, like, you're Superman.
Yeah, and you have the key to get out.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one that could bend the bars and just get out of there.
Yeah.
But you're there just with your head down, feeling sorry for yourself, thinking, who's going to come save me? Who's going to come save me? And when is everything going to be okay?
Yeah.
When all you have to do is just take the first step.
Yeah. And so many people play with the idea of they're going to get over their depression. I'm going to start doing this tomorrow. And you're always telling yourself tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. Well, you got to stop telling yourself tomorrow, at least someday, and just start moving forward.
Yeah, because if you put something off for tomorrow, tomorrow could become a week, tomorrow could become a month, tomorrow could become a year, just easily. And you would, and the thing is, like, if you keep putting things off for tomorrow, you won't even notice where it all went until like a year later, and it's like, oh shit, how the hell did I get here?
Yeah,
it's because you were always putting everything off.
Yeah,
you know, just waiting and waiting. But the thing is, like, that's the first thing you got to do is stop feeling sorry for yourself. You got to, just get up.
Yeah,
because just take the first step.
Yeah, because depression really is like a thought prison. You put yourself in this prison in your head, and you feel like you can't even get out. And like nothing's ever gonna get me out. I can't cheer up. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
But you put yourself in that prison. You hold the key. You really do hold the key, and it's up to you whether you decide to use your own key to get out.
Yeah, because the thing is, in my view, the longer you're there, the harder it is to get out.
Yeah.
I mean, because the longer you keep staying in that prison of depression, like, the deeper the hole's going to go.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the deeper it goes, it's just the harder it is going to be to climb out. You know, because you keep that going on forever and forever. Yeah. You know, but that's the thing. Like, it's only going to last as long as you want it to.
Yeah.
Because depression doesn't have, like, an expiration date on it. It doesn't have, like, a time, where it's only going to last this much and then it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, it's like, it's only going to last as long as you want it to. Yeah. You know, you choose how long you're going to be sad for. You choose how long you're going to be mad for. Yeah. You know, when you get mad at somebody, it's like, somebody makes you mad. Whether your little brother did something, broke something of yours, broke your phone. You get mad at him. Yeah. How long are you mad for? Like a day, right? Maybe 2. But, I mean, if you wanted to, you could be mad at him for like a week. Yeah. You could do it for a month. It's up to you. Yeah. It's up to you how long you want to keep it up for. Same thing with, like, depression. It is up to you. It really is up to you how long you want to keep it up for.
Yeah, because usually people are depressed about stuff they can control. Like, there's people, that are clinically depressed. They have something wrong with their brain, an imbalance of hormones. Yeah, but the majority of the time, I think people are depressed about stuff that they can control.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, a lot of people will, like, it's all in your head. I mean, because it really is. Because you could tell yourself all you want, like, well, I can't control it, and it's out of my reach. And it's like, no, man. Yeah. It's definitely not out of your reach, man. Definitely not out of your reach. Like, it's just, that's something you can control. Learning how to control your emotions is something you can do. Yeah. Especially when it comes to, like, depression. Yeah.
And if someone who's depressed is, like, listening to this now, they would probably be like, well, man, you've never been depressed. You can tell me all this stuff, but you've never been depressed.
Yeah, because, like, one time a professor of mine in college, he said this quote that I just, it always stuck with me. And he said, everything in life is a choice except for death. Yeah. And it really hit me because it was true. He started explaining, he's like, you could choose to not pay your taxes, but, I mean, you'll go to jail. Yeah. He's like, you could choose not to go to work, but you'll get fired. He's like, it's like, but you can choose. You can choose not to. You can choose to, And it's like, and that's true. I mean, you choose, everything in life is a choice, you know?
It's really your choice.
Yeah, I mean, of course, obviously the things you can control. I mean, you can't control who dies and doesn't die. I mean, that's out of your reach. But I mean, generally speaking, like in your circle, I mean, everything's a choice. Yeah. So I mean, if you decide to put yourself in that state of mind, then that's on you. Yeah,
because I think about when I was depressed. I was depressed for like 2 straight years, man. Mm-hmm. 2 straight or more years, just being depressed because of some girl. Mm-hmm. And just like I said on the last podcast, when I came to the realization that I was depressed for way too long, I think about all the time that I wasted being depressed, where I could have been spending my time actually doing something productive instead of feeling sorry for myself about something that I really couldn't control, something that I was just dwelling on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, because a lot of people, like, they'll be depressed and it'll be for a couple months or like a year, and then they realize it and they catch themselves, you know? Yeah. But there's people that they're depressed like the whole life, dude. Yeah. Like, they just go their whole life just being depressed. Yeah. And it's just, it's crazy.
Yeah, because they never realize it. Just like sometimes the way your parents treat you can make you depressed. Like, we've talked about this before in the past. Like, when your parents treat you like complete shit, you know, they're always getting angry at you because you don't do this, you don't do that. They're severely harsh on you, and it makes you feel like a shitty person. Mm-hmm. It makes you feel entirely shitty, and you live your whole life thinking you're a shitty person because people treated you like a shitty person. Mm-hmm. But that's not how it is. Just because someone treats you like a shitty person doesn't mean you're a shitty person, so you shouldn't get down about it and get depressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's everybody's perception is different than yours. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like, our parents come from like really old school backgrounds, so they're really strict when it comes to the way they speak about things and the way they view things. Yeah. So they're really strict about it, and they're very assertive and very harsh. Yeah. But I mean, we could take it as negative, you know, because for the longest time I thought, you know, like, they're just being assholes. This. But it's like, no, that's just the way that they are. Like, that's their norm. Yes. You know, that's their norm, is them being assertive and all that. Like, that's, to them, that's pushing me. Yeah. That's in their view. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's their perspective. Like, oh, well, if I'm assertive with them and mean, then it's going to motivate them or push them. You know, like, that's their view. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure everyone always, like, at some point, or people who like have those kinds of parents tell them, well, this is a different time, you know? You grew up in a different time. Things are different now. Which is true, and you could always argue with your parents that times are different now and we do things differently, but they're never going to understand that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're from a different world. They're from a different generation. Like, they're not going to understand us, because it's a different mindset, a different views on things. You know, we grew up in a different world than they did. You know, so of course they're going to have different views about things than we are.
Yeah, and I know someone that's really close to me who thought that for her whole life, thinking that, you know, she was a terrible person because of the way her parents treated her, and she kind of ruined her life because of that. You know, she didn't graduate high school, and she didn't pursue what she wanted just because her whole life she thought that her parents, you know, she was a shitty person because of the way her parents treated her. And now when she's older, she's told me the advice. Yeah, your parents are just that way because that's just who they are, and you can't really change that, and you have to make the best of it. You can't put yourself down about it.
Yeah, because you shouldn't let other people define your self-worth. Yeah, because that's what a lot of people let other people define the self-worth. You know, control their self-esteem. Yeah, you know, and it's like you shouldn't do that, because if you do that, you're gonna be miserable.
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to depression. You know, you can be depressed because some girl broke up with you and she called you an asshole, a douchebag. But in reality, you probably are not an asshole. You're probably not a douchebag. You know, you might have made a mistake, but that doesn't define you.
Yeah, that mistake's not gonna define you. Yeah, yeah, because, like, for example, like, people that get treated like shit and have low self-esteem. Yeah. You know, why do they have low self-esteem? Because they get treated like shit. Yeah. So they think that that's their self-worth. Yeah. They think, well, I get treated like shit, so I must be equivalent to shit. You know, like, if they're treating me crappy, then I guess I'm a crappy person. Yeah. So that's the ideas they started putting in their head, and it's like, no, it's like, you're not a crappy person. It's like the other person's a crappy person because they're treating you that way. Like, they're shitty. Yeah. You know. But it's like, just because they're treating you that way doesn't define you. That doesn't mean you're a shitty person, a bad person.
And you shouldn't walk around life every day thinking you're a terrible person, just down about it.
So don't let people like that define you. Don't let them define your self-worth. Because what matters is what you think about yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter what everybody else thinks about you. It really doesn't. Yeah. What matters is what you think about yourself.
Yeah.
In the end, that's what really matters.
Yeah, and something I saw one time and said, list all the things, just think about right now, list all the things that you love. And you go on naming all the things that you love. You know, I love my family, I love my siblings, I love doing this hobby, I love doing that hobby. But what never really comes to mind is saying, I love myself. I love myself. I love the person that I am today. And I don't think a lot of people say that, like right off the bat, I love myself.
Yeah.
And I think you have to learn to really love yourself, like the person that you are. And even if you don't like the person that you are now, to seek to become the person that you want to be. Because when you truly become the person that that you want to be and that you love, nothing can really put you down.
Yeah.
You never revert back to depression. You just look at depression and you think of it as like a silly idea.
Yeah, I think you should aspire to be the person you really want to be.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're your worst critic. You know? You're your worst critic, and people are always so harsh on themselves, you know? It's like, because it's like, if somebody gives you shit and calls you names, and it's like, hey, man, you're stupid. You're like, man, like, well, fuck you, you know? And then, like, you're going to fight the guy, you get mad, you know? And it goes on. But if you start, you know, it's like somebody, you know, is always telling you, hey, you're dumb, you're going to fight them, or you're going to do something about it. You know what I mean? You're not going to let them tell you that, put you down, you know what I mean? But when it comes to yourself and you start telling yourself that you're dumb, people start to let themselves, you know?
Yeah.
Like, people just start telling themselves, oh, well, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm dumb for doing this. And they let themselves beat themselves up. You know, if it was anybody else, no. But when it comes to themselves, they're just so harsh on themselves, and they just kind of abuse themselves mentally.
Yeah. That's what happens in depression, you know? You just start thinking all these negative thoughts about yourself, just negative. And you never really see the positive because the negative just consumes everything.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The darkness just takes over all the light.
Yeah, because that's the thing about depression is not even the most inspiring quote.
No.
Not even like the funniest movie. Not even like, it's just so many things that just, it's not going to take one thing to just get you out like that, you know?
Yeah, it's tough.
Like, it's tough, yeah. Especially when you're depressed, everything sucks, you know what I mean? Everything sucks. Everything's just cloudy and just sucks, and everything's just, the world just sucks, you know? The volume gets turned down.
Yeah.
And but it's just, it's up to you, you know?
Yeah.
Getting out of there, it's taking the first step.
Yeah, you need to make the first step. You gotta, whatever it is that you want to do, write it down. Write it down, put it on your wall as your goal. And you're going to see that goal every day. And eventually, if you're severely depressed, eventually maybe one day you're going to wake up and just say, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, because you have to see things for what they really are. You have to analyze the problem scenario, whatever it is that you're going through, and you have to like ask yourself, okay, is this really worth me suffering this much? And what's the problem? Is it permanent? Can it be solved? What can I do about it? You have to analyze and you have to see it for what it really is. You can't just lock yourself in your room every day and just stay there and just be sad, you know? I mean, because, don't get me wrong, you do need your moping time, you know? Like, have some time to be sad for yourself. That's all right, but just a little while.
Yeah, it comes a time when it's just too much. Like,
yeah, it comes a time when it's too much. So, I mean, if you're going to feel sad, just do it for a little bit, but don't stay there, you know? Just cry off your tears and then just get back up and just, just dust it off.
It's all about getting the ball rolling, because once you get the ball rolling, you're going to look back and think, wow, that wasn't really so hard. I just needed to start. Cause I think about when I started getting over the hump of depression, and after that, it was just an easy ride.
Oh, yeah.
Once you actually start doing something to improve yourself, it's just an easy ride. You're on just cruise control.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because I was depressed for a while, man. Just, so many things that happened in my life. Just, I was depressed for a while. And all I did was, stay in my room. I wouldn't go out.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go out because I was jobless. You know, I wouldn't hit anybody up. I had no contact with friends. It was just, you know, staying in my room, heartbroken and jobless, and just, you know, like everything was just kind of falling to pieces. Yeah. And it's just day after day, it seemed like the same shit. Like, it seemed like because with depression, it seems like every day just gets worse. Yeah. Like you think today's the worst day ever, and the next day just seems shittier. Yeah. And it just keeps going shittier and shittier, and you never thought it could get that low. Yeah. You know, just hitting like rock bottom. Yeah. You know, but that's the thing. Once you hit rock bottom, the only way to go from there is up.
Yeah, I remember having a conversation with you in the car when you were going down like the road of depression, and you kind of like forget who you are when you're depressed. Yeah. And I remember telling you, like, man, like, yeah, you're this fucking super confident Brian, man. Like, you're the person who's always just fucking enthusiastic about everything, can start a conversation with everyone. I remember you telling me, like, oh shit, like, I kind of forgot that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, I forgot who I was. Yeah. You know, like, you get stuck in depression for so long, you kind of forget the person that you are. Yeah. You know, because you kind of, depression breaks you, you know? Like, you break. You break and you kind of, it destroys you. Like, your confidence just drops to really low. Yeah. You know, your motivation drops low. Yeah. You know, your self-esteem drops low. Everything's just at the lowest point it's ever been. Just rock bottom. Yeah. You know, and then from there, like, you just kind of forget who you are. You don't know. You know, you're just so sad, focusing on just being sad. You know, you're just, that's the only thing you do focus on is just being sad. You know, just wondering, you know, is this gonna get better? But it always feels like it's getting worse. Yeah. And it's like you tend to lose yourself like that. Yeah. You lose who you are. Yeah. By doing that. My view.
Yeah, that's totally true. But it's just like we said before, you got to get started. You got to get started. How many days are you going to spend there being sad? Mm-hmm.
Or weeks,
months, years.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen people that done it for years, man. Like, cause I had a friend a long time ago that he was like a really awesome, positive guy, and always happy and always joking around. And then just shit just kind of went down. Yeah. And some things didn't work out for him. And then he just kind of started going down that road of depression. Yeah. And then like a year ago I had seen him and I talked to him, and he's just telling me, like, he just looked just like he was not doing well at all. Yeah. And when I talked to him, he was just like, oh, dude, I haven't been happy ever since this. Yeah. And I was like, that was like 4 years ago, man. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, dude, he's like, I just been so depressed and this is this. And I'm like, fuck, man, you've been depressed for like that amount of time, like all those years. And it's just like all that, because all that, you waste so much energy in depression just doing that. Like, you waste so much energy just being sad. And, you know, it's the best thing you could do when you're depressed is do something productive. Yeah.
And when you're depressed, like, no one really wants to see you depressed, you know? Like, people will see you and they're like, man, it's kind of bums you out that someone's depressed. And, like, sometimes, most of the time, like, you want to help, but most of the time people don't help. Like, they don't reach out to you, really. And let's say you're around someone who's depressed, and usually people are like, oh, don't bring this up, because then they're gonna get sad. But it's like, why not bring it up, you know? Like, you need to fix it. You know what you need to fix.
Yeah, because see, that's the thing. You can't put it in the back of your mind. You can't ignore it. Yeah. Because that's what people do all the time. They tend to ignore their problems and put it in the back of their mind, and just something starts to come up, and like, oh, no, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that. Yeah. Let me distract myself. Boom, let's watch TV. You know, oh, I don't want to think about that. Let me distract myself. Let's go do this. You know, and they try to distract themselves from their problems that they have to face. You know. Yeah. So they're just storing their problems in a box, and then one day it's all gonna it's gonna show. It's gonna come back. Yeah. Because it's there. Yeah. You know? But people never want to face their problems. They're always just storing it in a box and just ignoring it, like it's not there. Yeah. When it's right in front of them.
Yeah. Because if you're always putting your problems in the back of your head, just putting them in the back of your head, and constantly being distracted by whether it's television and doing stuff that makes you not think about it. When you're alone and with the silence and just your mind and your thoughts, all those thoughts that were in the back of your head are just going to come flushing forward. Yeah. And you're just going to be even sadder than you were before. And that's why it's important to just face your problems head on.
Yeah. Why do you think it's so, like, inhumane when they put people in isolation? like in
Yeah.
jail.
Yeah.
You know, they put like if you're being bad, they put you by yourself. You know, in
Yeah.
isolation. So you're in a room by yourself, and the only thing that's left is just you and your thoughts.
Yeah.
And that's, in my view, in my experience, pretty dangerous.
Yeah, it's usually problematic for a lot of people because that's what people do is they put problems in the back of your head. But for example, if you got someone who was just completely happy with themselves and always face their problems and always resolve their issues, if they're in isolation, fucking smooth deal. Okay,
Yeah, they're just gonna be chilling. You know?
I spend time with myself all the time. What's the problem?
Yeah, they'll probably walk in there, they'll be laughing.
Yeah, I'm gonna write some poetry, man.
Yeah, they're probably chilling. You know?
Yeah, and that's where I see where like people who meditate. Like I recently, since I took yoga in college, I've got into meditation, and that's helped me a great deal facing my problems mentally. And now I can spend time with myself and not be sad.
Yeah, see, because I think people got to learn how to be happy with themselves and like when they're by themselves, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that they never want to be like alone,
Yeah,
you know? And and a lot of those people don't want to be alone because that they don't want to be stuck with their thoughts,
Yeah.
you know? So they need somebody else. They need to be with somebody else to distract themselves from their own
Yeah.
reality.
And
you know?
people always feel like they need someone to make them happy. When you shouldn't need someone to make you happy. You should be happy on your own. That way, when someone comes along, it's just gonna add to your happiness. And if that person leaves, you're still gonna be happy because you were happy before.
Yeah, because a lot of people are they're scared to be by themselves. They're just them and their thoughts, you know? Like I remember I told people, like, oh yeah, I want to go watch a movie. They're like, who'd you go with? Oh my God, just by myself. Like, just by yourself?
Yeah.
That's so sad. And I'm like,
Why?
nah. Like, man, I go to the theaters by myself, get a big popcorn and just laugh my ass off. I'm like, that's fucking chill. Are you kidding me? I'm like, I enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe for you, you'd probably be depressed, you know? I'm like, but me, I enjoy it. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't mind. I'm like, it's fucking chill for me.
Yeah, I used to hate going places alone, like going out to eat alone. Because usually I go out to eat alone, you're by yourself eating, and then you start thinking about sad shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, I'm here by myself. Like, how sad is this?
Yeah.
But once you get over that, and once you become a happier person, going places by yourself is not really a big deal. And I mean, it's cool going with someone, you know. It's
Yeah.
It's at least sometimes better for me.
Yeah,
like,
it does
to have
enhance.
company.
It does enhance the experience.
Yeah, definitely. But if you do go alone, it's not that big of a deal.
See, because it does enhance the experience being with somebody else, but you got to be happy with yourself first.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not happy with yourself first, shit's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like relationships.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I think that's the reason a lot of relationships start to fall apart. It's because people aren't happy with themselves.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I talk about that all the time.
Because people depend on other people to make them happy a lot.
Yeah.
So let's say you have one person on the left, another person on the right. You know, the person on the left, they're not very happy. They're like mildly happy. Person on the right, same thing, mildly happy. But when they're both together, they're extremely happy. You know, but that's not good because they're only happy when they're together. When they're apart, they're back to being sad. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like half a heart. You know, when you put it together, it's a full heart and they're happy. Yeah. But that's not healthy because that means you depend on that person to be happy. Yeah. A lot, you know, and it shouldn't be that way. I think you should be happy with yourself. If you have one person on the left that's already happy, and another person on the right that's already happy, when you both get together, it's just fucking awesome. Yeah. You know, because you're both happy. You're both happy when you're when you're together, and you're both happy when you're apart. And I think that works out perfectly. That's like the best way to do it, you know, instead of always depending on people, you know.
Yeah, and I think we all know that, like that one person who's always with like their significant other, and it seems like they're always with that person. They're so in love with that person. It's like, man, do you ever spend time by yourself? Like, are you happy with yourself? Do you need that person all the time? Yeah, and I get it. Like, it's wonderful. Probably it's wonderful to be in love and to have someone, but it's like, come on, like, are you really happy if you were by yourself?
Yeah, see, because the way I look at it is, like, you shouldn't depend on people so much for your happiness, you know? Most of it should come from you, you know, because a lot of people depend, whether it's on their girlfriend or boyfriend or friends, for all their happiness, you know? Yeah. But you shouldn't, I don't think you should depend on people that much. You should kind of first try to find it in yourself. Yeah. And then people are just gonna enhance it. You know, it's gonna help out.
Yeah, because I know now that I'm completely happy. I'm probably the happiest I've ever been in my life ever, and I'll just be sitting like in class, or I'll be sitting somewhere, and I'll just start laughing because I thought something was funny. And people will be like, "Yo, why are you laughing?" Like out of nowhere. So just I found something funny. I'm just fucking happy. I just can't be happy just because I'm here right now, just relaxing and enjoying what I'm seeing.
Yeah. It weirds people out. People get weirded out when they see other happy people. It's like, why are you so happy?
Yeah.
You know, what made you so happy? It kind of weirds people out because it's so rare.
Yeah.
You know, it's so rare to see people smiling and happy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because of course it's hard, but
yeah,
it's better than being sad.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard road. It's definitely a hard road, and it's a lot of trial and error, figuring out things that are really gonna make you happy, or maybe you thought something was gonna make you happy, but it doesn't. But eventually, you're gonna find that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Whether it's like making amends with all your problems, whether it's finding that one hobby that you just truly love, and just doing what makes you happy.
Yeah, I don't think you should settle for less.
Never settle.
If you don't like what you're doing, fucking get out.
Yeah.
If you don't like the person you're with,
get out.
Get out.
Yeah.
If you don't like your friends, get out. If you don't like the town you live in, save up and try to get out.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, don't settle for less.
Yeah.
Like don't settle for less because it's not gonna make you happy. Just do what you want to do. Just fuck what everybody thinks. Just do what you want to do. You're gonna have people that are gonna tell you that you can't do it, or dude, that's kind of impossible, or that's pretty stupid. You're gonna have, of course, you're gonna have haters. Of course, you're gonna have people that are gonna try to put you down and get in your head and make you second guess yourself. But don't. It's not. They're not you.
Yeah.
They're not you. Who knows you? Who knows you better than yourself?
Yeah.
Nobody. You're with yourself 24/7, 365 days a year.
Yeah.
You know, you've been with yourself for years. So who's gonna know you better than you?
Yeah.
Nobody. So you can't let people tell you what you can and can't do. You know, it's your choice.
Yeah.
You know, don't waste your time. I mean, because life really is too short. The older I get, the faster it goes. You know, it just keeps going. I'm like, where the fuck did this year go? Where did a week go? Like, it just keeps going and going and going. So why are you gonna sit? You know, why are you gonna sit at the table like staring at the menu, trying to figure out what you want?
Yeah.
You know, when you already know what you want, you know, you got to go and chase it. Just go get it.
Maybe you don't know what you want and you just pick something random off the menu. Maybe you like it. If not, then just move on to something else.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know what they want and they don't know what they want to do. But that's the thing. It's better to jump on things and try things out than to just stand there and be like, oh, well, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Because the longer you're just standing there trying to figure out what you want to do, it's just time being wasted that you could just invest into throwing yourself into doing other activities or whatever it is. You know?
I think one of the reasons why a lot of people settle for less is because they've never experienced variety. They've never experienced multiple things to actually come to a conclusion of what they really like. Because it's like, oh, I kind of like this, I kind of like that, but you never really find something that you tell yourself, I love this, I want to do this. And I think it's through having different experiences, trying different things out that you can find what you really want to do.
Yeah, because it's like that one time we talked about this analogy, which was you're stuck in an island by yourself. Yeah. And the island's kind of shitty, and you've been there for a while. You've been living in the island for a while. So then somebody comes on a boat and tells you, hey, there's a totally different world out there. It's bigger. It's awesome. You love it. It's beautiful. And you're like, nah, I'll stay here.
I'm comfortable here.
Yeah, but that's because you're comfortable there. But you've been there your whole life. You've been there all the time. And like you think like, no, it's not gonna be better than this, or no thanks. You know, like you don't really want to because you're comfortable there. You know, but then you get forced to go over there. Or somehow you make it to the other place, other city. You leave that island, and then you see this totally new place, and it just blows your mind. Yeah. And you never thought that you could find a better place than that island you were living in. Yeah. And it just blows your mind because you're like, whoa, this exists. This is real. Like I didn't think this was real. This is way better than the place I was in before. Yeah. You know, but that's the thing. There is a lot better out there. There is a lot more you can do. It's just people don't want to take the step. They just like, oh no, I'm cool here. Oh, I'm just comfortable here. You know, that's all right. You know, I mean, that's what a lot of people say all the time. You know, well, how do you like it? That's all right. Yeah. How are things going? It's okay.
Yeah, I think it goes back to like what we talked about on the last podcast, But it also pertains to depression. It becomes your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like getting out of their comfort zone, and also when you're depressed, depression becomes your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't really like getting out of their comfort zone because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. No, yeah, because depression does become your comfort zone. It really does. You start to just, you kind of find, as weird as it sounds, ironic as it sounds, you kind of find not happiness, but you find comfort in sadness.
Yeah.
You know, like you start to find comfort in sadness, and it's strange, but that's not healthy at all.
Mm-mm.
That's only going to consume you. That's not healthy at all.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think about the shit that matters. You know, you got to look at the whole picture. You know, you got to look at the whole picture. I mean, if you're depressed right now, it's like, okay, where are you at right now?
Yeah.
You know, you got food, water, shelter. You're good. How old are you? You still young? You still got a couple years ahead of you? You're good.
Yeah.
You know, do you have people that care about you? I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
You know, do you have people that look up to you? I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you have a lot more going for you than you usually think. You know, people usually have a lot more going for them than they think.
I think that's the very first step before actually getting to do something is realizing it. Because I think sometimes when you're in that state of mind of depression, it's hard to realize it. It's hard to see the big picture. You only see one puzzle piece, and you're not seeing the big picture. But if you just start thinking about it, just start thinking and thinking, you can eventually see the big picture and realize, oh shit, things aren't really as bad as I thought they were.
Yeah, I mean, are you a kid that's starving, you know, with no food and no shelter?
Yeah.
No. Are you a murderer that's on death row and is about to die? No. You know, or like, there's so much. It could always be way fucking worse.
It can always be worse.
Always be way fucking worse. Like, I bet whatever you're going through is just so minute compared to like the rest of the world. You know, it's just in your head. You make it seem like it's such a big deal.
Yeah, and if you can fix it, then why not fix it? You know, if the problem's fixable, why not fix it? It's like if you have a flat tire and you're just like, oh man, I have a fucking flat tire. I can't go anywhere.
And you just stare at it.
You're just sad and you stare at it. But man, that's fixable. Just go out there, get a new tire, or get it fixed.
Yeah, because they had conducted this study on people that had committed suicide and survived, and the people who tried to commit suicide and survived, they said that the number thing they realized when they tried to commit suicide and like they were about to die was that all their problems and all the things that they were going through were actually not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like right at the moment of dying, right when they were about to die, they realized like, holy shit, all this is fixable.
Yeah.
All these problems are fixable. And that's what they realized when they were about to die. You know, but I mean, they survived. But it's like, that just kind of goes to show how your head just makes problems seem worse than they really are when it isn't. Because it's like, look at it for what it really is. Is it fixable? You know, if not, then let's move on. You know, like if you know you break a glass vase and you just stare at it, is it fixable? If not, then just move on.
Yeah, throw it away.
Yeah, instead of just staring at it there and crying about it. Yeah, because you can do that for as long as you want to. You know, and that's how it is with depression.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
It's all right, man. It happens.
It's all part of conversations.
It's all part of the conversation.
You can't control a conversation.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, it's hard. It's not easy, but just, you got to force yourself to do things. Force yourself to do things you don't want to. Just do it. Yeah. Wake up, go for a run. Yeah. Of course you want to go for a run. It's early. Just do it. Just fucking do it. I swear to God, you're going to feel better. I know you're going to feel better. If you go out for a run, you're going to feel better. Yeah. You know, get out of your room. Open the blinds. You know, don't let your room be dark. Open the blinds. Turn the lights on. Yeah. Put a good song. Slap some Blink-182. Put the volume all the way up. Start moving your body. Do it. Yeah, you're gonna feel weird. Yeah, it's gonna feel kind of corny, whatever. But just do it.
You'll be surprised like how your mood gets elevated so fast just by doing those things.
Yeah, you'd be so surprised how if you just put the volume up, put a really good song that you like, start dancing, force yourself to dance. Yeah. You know, start singing. Yeah. You'll be so surprised how your mood's gonna go up.
Yeah, because you can wake up and just be like, oh fuck, man, I gotta go to fucking school. I gotta go do this and go do that, and you just started off negative from the start, out of the gate.
Yeah.
Like, you could have just woke up and you don't want to get out of bed. You probably need more sleep because we don't get enough sleep. But you can wake up and slap some tunes on, go to the bathroom, look yourself in the mirror, do a stupid face, and then you laugh because how stupid you look or whatever. Take a selfie.
Take a selfie. Selfie Olympics. But yeah, you can wake up, slap some Tupac, take a nice cup of coffee, start dancing. I mean, you can start the day. I mean, that's a good way to start the day. Just start it off good. Start it off with high energy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to force yourself, though. It's the same way you got to force yourself out of bed when you don't want to go to school. Yeah. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Because your body's going to be telling you no. Your mind is going to be telling you no. No, you don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Because you've already become accustomed to this comfort zone. And being positive is out of your comfort zone, but you got to force yourself.
Just force yourself.
You got to force yourself.
You got to force yourself to just do things like that. You see somebody you want to talk to, go and conversate with them.
Yeah.
Just go conversate with them. You see a pretty girl that you want to go talk to, just go talk to her.
Yeah.
Fuck it. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. Just rejection. Hey, at least now you know the answer.
Yeah.
She rejected you, and it's like, oh well, hey, at least now I know.
Yeah.
Better than going home and be like, shit, what if I talked to her?
Yeah, definitely.
What could have
I've
been?
had those moments.
Just do it. Just force yourself to do things you don't want to.
Yeah.
And I swear, if you do those things, you are going to be happier.
Yeah.
You are going to be happier.
Definitely.
By forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to.
It just takes the balls to do it.
Yeah, because you're not gonna get out of depression in a day, in a week, maybe in a month. Like, it takes time.
Definitely.
It takes a while. It takes a while.
Think about the whole time you spent depressed, man. Like, you could have been depressed for a whole year. It's probably gonna take another year to get over that. Or maybe it'll be half a year. But whatever time you spent there, you should expect the same amount of time for it to get better.
Just force yourself to do things. Just hit up your friends. Be like, hey, you guys want to go have a drink? Let's go have a drink.
Yeah.
Go have some laughs. Go meet some new people. Go socialize. Go, go fucking skydive. Go do something. Go, do something that's going to stimulate you. Something that's going to, wake you up. Something that's going to make you feel alive. Yeah. Go for a walk. Go hiking. Go swimming. Go do something productive. Get your body moving. Get your mind in the right place. And because staying in your room, you're not gonna figure it out there. Yeah, you're not. You're gonna overthink yourself to the point where you're just gonna keep digging that hole deeper. Yeah. If you stay in your room, you're just gonna keep getting sadder, and you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna figure out the answers. The same prison that you locked yourself in, and that hole that you're just digging yourself into. Yeah. I don't think you're gonna be in that place and then just come out happy.
I think another thing that has to do with depression that definitely helps is like what you're eating. Because I have definitely noticed a difference of like when you start eating like more fruits and vegetables and like earth grown nutrients, you just feel way better. You just feel in a way better mood. Like instead of just eating a bunch of sugar all the time, and just feeling lethargic. When you start eating something like good quality food, you feel fucking great, man. Honey buns are good, dude.
Dude, honey buns are the shit.
You want to party, eat some honey buns.
Dude, yeah, man. Go to Costco. No, food makes a big difference, dude. I've always noticed it. Yeah. Every time I eat shitty food, I just feel shitty. Yeah. Every time I eat like good food, I feel like my energy levels up. I feel more clear-minded. Yeah. I don't feel as foggy. Yeah. I thought it was just bullshit, and then I started to experiment with my own body, and it's like, oh shoot, I do feel better. Yeah. I do feel better when I eat, like good foods like vegetables and chicken and tuna and all that stuff. I feel way better than eating a whole box of Cheez-Its and some Pop-Tarts. Yeah. You do feel a difference.
Yeah, and I think with everything, it's finding a balance, because you can't completely give up, honey buns. We still eat honey buns. We still eat some bag of chips every once in a while, maybe. And it's finding that balance, But I think you should kick off your morning with like a good breakfast, man. A good breakfast? Yeah. Definitely. Man, you're just gonna wake up. You're gonna be in a super good mood right out the gate. You're gonna rub that vibe off on people. People are gonna notice. Oh, this guy's pretty positive.
Yeah, I think something really cool that has really helped me in the past is doing things that you've never done before. Yeah, trying new things all the time. Yeah, I mean not every day because that might be pretty hard. Yeah, but I mean maybe like once a week. Maybe once every 2 weeks. Like just try new things. Just try new things because you really don't know. You really don't know how it's going to be. Yeah. I mean, in your head, you always think like, I probably won't like it. It's probably not for me. Have you tried it? No, because there's been so many things that I've thought, you know what? If I try that, I'm probably not gonna like it, dude. I'm not even gonna be good at it. And then I tried. I'm like, holy shit, this is fun. I thought this was gonna suck. This is fun. You know, you just gotta try new things because also you really don't know what you're capable of until you try it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you really don't know. You know, like who knows? Maybe you could do a backflip. Do you know? Have you tried it?
Yeah.
No, it's like no, I never tried it. So then how do you know?
Yeah.
You know, maybe you have the ability to do that. You just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, maybe you could do 25 push-ups in a row. Have you ever tried it? No. And then you try it, and hey, no, I did 30 push-ups in a row. I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah.
You know, if you didn't know you could do that, then what else can you do that you don't know?
Yeah.
I bet there's so many things that you can do that you have no clue that you're good at. That all you have to do is just try.
Yeah.
And you discover more about yourself by trying new things.
Yeah.
Because every time you try new things, you discover more about yourself. You're like, whoa, I didn't know I could do that. Yeah. Whoa, I didn't know I could push myself that hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know I could run that fast. Oh, I didn't know I could make that person laugh. You know, and like you start to discover more about yourself. You know, so you start to know yourself better. So I think it's a really good thing to try new things out.
Yeah, and try new things out and learn new things. Because, you know, you might try certain things and you might fail at them. It doesn't mean you should just completely give up on them, you know? Mm-hmm. If there's something you truly want to do, whether you want to learn an instrument, whether you want to get stronger, whether you have different goals, set your mind to them and just go for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because everything is always going to start off not the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like with anything. I mean, the best football players...
Yeah.
You know, the people at the Olympics, when they first started, were they the best at it? I bet you they weren't. I bet you they were shitty, you know?
Yeah.
The smartest people, when they first started, were they the smartest person in the room? I bet you they weren't, you know what I mean? Like, nobody starts off just 100%, you know? It's like you got to build yourself up to it. So if you go on and try something new and you fail at it, don't feel discouraged, you know, because that's normal, you know?
And, you know, there are those people out there that are just gifted and pick up things easier than others, but that shouldn't discourage you because everyone really can get better at something. You can always get better at something, but it's up to you whether you want to put in the time and dedication to actually do it.
Yeah, don't feel discouraged if somebody's making progress faster than you.
Yeah.
Because you may be making progress also, it's just slow progress.
Yeah.
But slow progress is progress. But in your eyes, maybe you don't see it as progress because the other person is progressing faster than you are.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You're not that person. So don't compare yourself to that person because you're still making progress.
Yeah.
It's just slower, but you're still making progress.
And there's going to be times where you think you're not making progress. I think we've, like, people who are into athletics or anything else, hobbies, you feel like you're not getting better. You feel like you're wasting your time. Like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm not getting any better. But you really are. You just can't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you are good at something and you see somebody that's struggling with it, just help them out.
Yeah.
You know, don't just help them out because there's people out there that they just they need that extra boost. They need that extra help. You know, like they can do it. They just don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
You know, some people just need a little help. Like, hey, just do this. Oh, okay. You know, because you see the person differently than they see themselves because of course you're seeing them in third person.
Yeah.
They can't see themselves in third person.
Yeah.
They can only see themselves in first person. So of course you're gonna see things about them that they can't really see. You know, because they're inside, you're outside. So you know from outside it's gonna look different than from the inside. So you know if you see something like that, just help them out.
Yeah. I think about all the times that someone has come up to me to help me. That really gives you a boost. It's a boost of confidence, and you just get a little boost knowing that someone's willing to help you.
Yeah.
I feel that it's something we should all do is help each other out.
Yeah.
Whether it's with the most minute things to major things, just help each other out.
Yeah, because I mean, every once in a while you can get the douchebags that you try to help them out. Like, I don't need help.
Yeah.
It's like, well, all right, bro, because that's gonna get you far.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how far you go. Just trying to do that by yourself with no help.
Yeah.
Like let your ego get in the way.
Yeah.
But it's the people that have more of an open mind that they're just like, oh yeah, like they'll take any suggestions that you have. That they're gonna go pretty far.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have that that mentality of like, oh, I'm better than you, so I'm not gonna help that guy. Like, why am I gonna help him?
Yeah. Don't have an ego.
Yeah.
Ego's so stupid.
I don't like ego.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like, if you're good at something, if you're at the top of whatever it is, the food chain, and your whatever you do, your hobby, your sport, your job, whatever it is, like, don't put people down.
Yeah.
Don't put other people down. that's not right. Because there's people that are trying to better themselves, they're trying to do good, and then there's people that they're at the top and they put other people down. You know, and it's like that's the stupidest thing you can ever do.
Yeah.
Like if you're at the top, just don't step on people. Like throw your hand and help them get up.
Yeah, and I see a lot of ego when you're at the top of the food chain. You're really good at what you do, and someone that's lower than you tries to give you advice, and those people get mad. It's like, why are you giving me advice? Like, you're lower than me. But what if their advice is like good and actually can be helpful? Just because they're like lower than you doesn't mean you should just completely shut them out. And maybe they're lower than you, and maybe their advice isn't that great. Well, let them know and be like, listen, you can do this better. That's not the right way to approach it. Instead of completely putting them down.
Yeah, don't be so close-minded. Like, there's this quote that Bill Nye said. I'm probably gonna butcher it, but he said, "Everybody you'll ever meet knows something that you don't."
Yeah,
which is true.
Yeah,
like everybody you'll ever meet in your life knows something that you don't.
Yeah,
so don't feel like you already know it all.
Yeah,
because people are so like. Going back to what we had talked about before, people are so negative when it comes to other people that there's just look at people and like, that person's probably really boring.
Yeah.
Or that person probably doesn't have much to say.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how do you know that?
Yeah, maybe they
how
do.
about you go try and talk to them and then see what they have to say? Like maybe they might say something that you never even knew.
Yeah.
They might have an idea that you never even heard of.
Yeah.
They might have something interesting to say. Because everybody knows something that you don't.
Yeah. And maybe you might disagree, but just because you disagree doesn't mean you should shut them out. Listen to their perspective. Listen to what they have to say. Maybe you get convinced, or maybe you're still not convinced, but now, hey, you know both perspectives and you know something more. Yeah,
I mean, just because you believe your views are right doesn't mean they are.
Yeah.
Same goes with the other person.
Yeah.
Same goes with everybody. Because it's like if I could say my favorite color is green. Green's the best color. And you could be like, no, my favorite color is red. Red is the best color. Just because I like green doesn't mean that's right. It is the best color. In my world, it's the best color. In your world, red's the best color. But just because we have different views doesn't mean that we got to clash heads or be enemies. Or that I'm right and you're wrong, or that you're right and I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's just it's not always about being right or wrong.
Yeah. Because we've seen it with people that they just want to be right all the time. They just want to be right all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so hard admitting that you're wrong. And it is hard admitting that you're wrong, but sometimes you have to do it. Sometimes you have to
own up to
realize
your mistakes.
and be like, yeah, I was wrong about this. You were right. And that's something that a lot of people don't do, is admit that they're wrong about something.
Yeah. Definitely, because it is hard. It's hard to own up to your mistakes, but I mean, it only helps you in the end.
Yeah.
Instead of lying to yourself.
Yeah, and it's when you see that, like that I'm right all the time mentality it's just ego and pride, stubbornness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just people let their ego get in the way too much.
Yeah,
they let their ego just control them, and it's ridiculous because the ego is not you. Like the ego is a different thing, and you got to learn how to set that aside. The thing that tells you in your head, like, I'm better than that person. I'm stronger than that person.
Yeah.
I'm better looking than that person. I'm faster than that person. I'm smarter than that person. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah. I mean, your ego is always going to be there. You're always going to have a little bit of an ego, because even talking about ego and letting people know that they have an ego is showing your ego. But it's diminishing it as much as possible, which that is important.
Yeah, because that's important. You gotta diminish your ego as much as possible, because you just having a big ego just puts people down. Especially like the little people. Just like the people that need help the most is like the little people. Usually the most humble people. It's usually the most humble people, and that's how it tends to be. It's like the most humble people are the poorest. Or the most humble people are the ones that have less. And then the people that have the most, richest, whatever, strongest, whatever, it's usually like the ones with the biggest ego.
Yeah. I mean, you could find some successful people that don't have egos, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah, there's a couple people that are pretty humble at the top, but it is pretty rare.
Yeah.
Just lets it get to their head too much.
Yeah. It's destroy that ego.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do for jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
your ego is gonna get demolished, destroyed.
Yeah, see, because I could go back to depression.
Yeah,
You could revert that back to depression, the ego.
yeah. Because being depressed really, it's a battle with your ego.
Mm-hmm.
It's a battle with your ego whether you want to, stay where you're at, or it's blocking you from doing what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I guess sort of in a way.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah. So does that make sense?
It's making sense. No, but yeah, because there's a difference between like believing in yourself and having confidence.
Yeah.
And then there's a difference between that and like having an ego and just being cocky and just
Yeah.
I'm better than everybody else.
Yeah.
And you gotta learn how to
Balance it out.
balance it out.
So balancing act. That's what we go back to. Just balance.
Yeah, it's all balance.
Yin and the yang.
Yeah, the yin and the yang. Because I mean, it's all balance. I don't think you could be always just too happy, or just too sad,
Yeah.
Because I think like if you're too happy, you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Because it's so shallow.
Because in reality, the world is a pretty fucked up place.
Mm-hmm.
There's kids get murdered for no reason. Death all over the world. Death every day. Death every minute.
Yeah.
And the world really is a terrible place, but you really have to make the most of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's in your eyes. You can decide. You can decide. Look at the world as it's a horrible place. People are dying. There's always shootings. This, or you can look at it as well. Yeah, there's that stuff that's going on, but you know what? There's also people over here helping kids out.
Yeah.
There's people over here, saving these animals.
Yeah.
It's like you decide what you want to look at.
Yeah.
Like you decide. Half full, half empty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah, and you could see all the all the poverty, all the animal abuse in the world, everything that's going on, and it's up to you whether you really want to help it. Whether it's donating to funds, or donating to certain organizations, or actually doing your part, or you can just completely ignore it.
Yeah, because it's like let's say there's two different types of glasses.
Yeah.
There's these glasses that you put on. It's like the black glasses. You put the glasses on, and everything seems shitty. They're the negative glasses.
Yeah.
So when you put those glasses on, you just see all the negative things.
Mm-hmm.
You look at people and you start thinking negative about them. You're just like, oh well, that person's dumb. This is this, or you just start thinking the most negative things about that person. You watch TV and then you just start thinking the most negative things because you watch the news and this world's fucked up. This is this. You think the whole world's out to get you. Then you put on the positive glasses and then you see things more like. You start thinking more positive about people, like, hey, that person looks like a pretty hard worker, like, or hey, that person seems like they got pretty stronger, or whatever it is, you start seeing things from more positive. It's like, oh, that person's trying to help this person out,
Yeah.
or hey, maybe I can help that person out. You start to see more positive, and that's the thing. Like, you choose which glasses you want to put on,
Yeah.
and whichever glasses you're going to put on, it's going to shape your reality, because that's how it is. You really get to you do get to choose how you want to look at the world.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
And that just goes back to depression. You choose. It's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you what you want to do with your life, what you want to do with your emotions. And it's going to be hard. It's definitely going to be hard.
Yeah, just try to get it together. Just try. Because this life is your movie. It's your movie. It's your book. You're the one writing the book.
Yeah.
It's because the way I look at it is like, because in my head, what I'm always thinking is one day I'm going to be an old man. And I'll be an old man, and I'll be chilling like in my rocking chair, and who knows what I'll have? Maybe I could have Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have dementia. Maybe I could have arthritis, and I can't really move.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is by a certain time, my time's gonna be done.
Yeah.
I can't do much. You know what I mean? So what's left of me? The only thing left of me is my memories.
Yeah.
By my memories, it's this book. This book that I wrote. And I decided. I'm deciding right now, what the book's gonna be.
Yeah.
Because I could decide if the book's gonna be just every page is just about me staying locked in my room doing nothing. You know what I mean? Or about me staying home watching TV just doing nothing.
Yeah.
Or I could decide to fill that book with, this one time went to the beach with my friends, just spontaneous road trip, and it was the best thing ever. And then I decided to go talk to that person, and then I made a new friend, and then then I met this girl, and then this happened. And I could decide to just fill up that book with adventure. And a bunch of fun things that happen, and make a bunch of memories, because I decide what the book's gonna be. I could decide whether in the book I'm the victim and I'm the one suffering, and then I could just read through that, and that's gonna be the most fucking boring book ever. It's gonna be so boring. What happens in the book? This character just stays home, does nothing, and feels sorry for themselves. what kind of book is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, how about the part where he like starts to pick it up together? You know,
Yeah.
It wouldn't have much meaning. You know,
Yeah.
because it's like a you know, like we said, like you get something, and let's say you get something easy. It doesn't have much value to you,
Yeah.
because it doesn't have much value because you got it easy and you didn't work for it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like anything. You know what I mean? But if you work your ass off and fucking bloods and tears and sweat, and you work your ass off and you finally get something that you really wanted, you're gonna
appreciate that so
yeah,
much more.
so much. You're gonna appreciate it so much because you know you put the work, the time, the dedication to get there and to get that. You know, same thing with happiness.
Yeah.
If you work towards it and you work hard, once you get it, you're gonna appreciate it so much. You know, and it's gonna enhance everything. You know, because you're gonna, you know, like with getting out of depression, you work hard and you try to get out of there. You're gonna appreciate it a lot, and you're not gonna revert back.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to revert back because you know how hard you worked to get out of there. You know how hard, you know, and how long it took to get out of there.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to revert back and fall back.
Yeah.
And if you learn that, then maybe you could pass it on to somebody else and help them out when they're going through that.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's it for this episode.
Yeah. This was episode 2.
Two. Yeah. Follow us on Twitter at DOTI podcast. Whether you're listening to this on YouTube, Mediafire, SoundCloud, whether you're listening to it in your car, remember, it's your choice. Don't overthink it.